Hello everyone, welcome to Flow and Open with Amy. This is the Yoga Flow in the forest. Thank you so much for joining me today in the forest of Colorado. It's a beautiful day. Super excited to move through this practice with you. So let's go ahead and start standing. Actually, no, we're not going to start standing. We're actually going to start in child's pose. Quite different. So go ahead and make your way to child's pose. So I'm going to bring my big toes to touch. And I'm going to take my knees. I'm going to take a bit of a wider child's pose. So I'm going to let my knees be about the width of my mat. Just send your hips back towards your heels. Allow your heart and your head to just melt onto the earth. Feeling the third eye space, the forehead, in between the eyes, just right on the ground. And taking some big, deep breaths here. Good. In and out through the nose. Just allowing your body, your mind, and your spirit to arrive in the here and now. In this shape. This nurturing pose. And for these next few breaths, I want you to just focus on sending your breath just all through your back body. So all the way from the low back, up the spine, down the sides. Just really feel and maybe even visualize your breath taking up that space. Good. So we're going to, for the rest of this practice, keep our breath as our anchor to this present moment. So allowing the breath to bring us back into this state of awareness, this state of being present, of mindfulness. And knowing the mind might wander, it might drift, that is totally okay. Just come back to the breath, come back to the present. So let's see if we can keep this deep breath in and out through the nose that we've cultivated here throughout the rest of this practice. So on your next inhale, come up onto your hands and knees. So coming up onto all fours. Take a big breath, stand up onto the knees, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And as you exhale, come back down into child's pose. Inhale, come into a modified plank with the knees down. And as you exhale, slowly lower the chest all the way down towards the earth. As you inhale here, lift the heart. Find a little baby cobra pose, pressing the shoulders down. And as you exhale, send the hips back. Find child's pose once again. Let's take that one more time. Inhale, stand up onto the knees. Reach the arms all the way up overhead. Exhale, fold forward, find child's pose. Inhale, knees down, modified plank. And exhale, lower all the way down. This time, bring the hands out wider than your mat. And tent up your hands so you're on the fingertips. As you inhale, drop the shoulders down, lift the heart up. Good. Exhale, bring that heart down, send the hips up and back, find child's pose. Good. On your next inhale, come up onto all fours, and as you exhale, send the hips up and back, straighten the legs, downward facing dog, pedal the feet. Good. Press the shoulders down out of your ears, release the neck. Come back to the breath. If you've already lost it, if the mind has already wandered, it's okay. The breath is always here to come back, to bring us back to the present, to be our anchor. Good. Walk the hands back to meet the feet at the back of your mat, and just find a forward fold here. So it might feel good to grab opposite elbows. Maybe swaying back and forth a little bit.
Just gently allowing gravity to work for you here. Releasing the neck, the spine. Good. Drop those hands back down to the mat, find center, and walk back out into plank pose. Good. Wrists underneath the shoulders, pulling up, engaging in through the core, and tractioning your hands back as if you're trying to pull your wrists back towards your feet. One more breath in this strong plank pose. As you exhale, lower all the way or maybe halfway down. Inhale, lift the heart up, upward facing dog or cobra. And as you exhale, send the hips up and back, find downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, reach that right leg up towards the sky. And as you exhale, send the knee up in between the hands, drop the back knee down. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. And as you exhale, let's just cactus the arms out towards the side, really lift the heart. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms up once more. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the heart space. One more just like that. Inhale and exhale. Good. Bring the hands back down to frame that front foot. Curl the back toes and lift the back knee up off the mat. And on your next inhale, reach the arms up once again, finding high crescent lunge. Stay here for one full round of breath. Inhale and exhale. Good. On your next breath in, put all the weight into that front foot. Shoot up into warrior three, finding your balance. So lifting that back foot towards the back wall, keeping the hips square down towards the earth, pulling the belly button in towards the spine, protecting the low back. Hands can come to heart center, out in front, or to the side. Good. One more breath on this challenging balance. Good. On your next breath in, start to stand up, keeping that left foot up off the mat. Let the foot just sweep the ground, come up, keeping that left foot at 90 degrees out in front of you. And start to bring that left foot in towards the thigh for tree pose. So bringing the foot however high it comes. Come here so you can see me a little bit better. So maybe all the way up in the groin, maybe at the calf, or maybe you keep the toes onto the earth. Just avoiding placing that foot on the knee and just pausing. I don't know about you, but my heart rate is up a little bit. So I'm going to use this moment to get back to those deep breaths, those deep inhales and exhales in this strong tree pose. In the middle of the forest, in the midst of all this tree inspo, tree inspiration. Stay here for just one more breath. Good. At the bottom of that exhale, release the leg, bring it back to 90 degrees. So keeping the left foot up off the ground. We're going to reverse the way we came. So start to shoot that left leg back behind you to warrior three. Keeping the balance. I know your right leg is on fire, mine is too. Slowly start to bend into that front knee, drop the back toes down, find high crescent lunge, reach the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, bring them down to frame that front foot. Step back to plank and take yourself through your vinyasa. Lowering down, inhale, lifting up, exhale, sending the hips up and back. Beautiful job. Let's take this to the other side. So inhale, reach the left leg up. Exhale, swing it through between the hands, drop the back knee, release the back toes. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, cactusing the arms out to the side, lifting through the heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, open. Good, one more just like that. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Curl the back toes. Lift the back knee. Prep your foundation. And when you're ready for your next inhale, reach up. High crescent lunge. Just keeping that knee on top of the ankle and pressing out through that back heel just as much energy as you are putting forward. So have a balance of energy going back and forward through the hips. One more breath. Good. The bottom of your next exhale, start to pitch forward. Find warrior three on the left leg. Lifting that right leg up off the mat. So in warrior three, you really want to focus on keeping the hips square. So that might keep your leg from lifting as high as it can. Totally fine. Hip square, spine long, balance. Finding a spot in front of you to keep your gaze to help with the balance. One more breath. Good. Start to come to standing, but keeping that right foot up off the ground. Bringing it up to 90-degree angle out in front of you. Really pausing and finding your balance for a moment before bringing that right foot in for tree pose. Balancing on the left leg. So bringing that right foot wherever it falls on the left leg, just not on the knee. Taking a moment. Coming back to your breath if you lost it. Just feeling the strength and the balance in this powerful tree pose. Feeling rooted in that left foot and at the same time rising up through the spine, up through the crown of your head. Maybe you grow a little taller right here. Good. Stay like this for one more breath. Good. At the bottom of that exhale, just release the foot, bring it back to 90. Begin to pitch forward, shooting back into warrior three, reversing this flow, so going back to where we came from. So slowly bending into that front foot as you allow the back toes to reach the bottom of the mat. High lunge. Take a big breath here. Exhale, bring the hands down to frame the foot. Step back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Choose the way you want to go to get to downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, lift the right leg up once again. And as you exhale, bring that right knee to the right wrist. We're coming into pigeon pose. So drop the back knee down. My right knee is up with my right wrist. The foot will come as far forward as your flexibility allows. So maybe the heel is a little more in towards the groin. If you want more sensation, just continue to bring that foot out more to a 90-degree angle. Mine's probably at about 45. So take a big deep breath in and exhale. Start to walk the hands out and fold forward. Now, however low you go is up to you. You can stay on the hands, forearms, or maybe the chest comes all the way down to the ground. Just allow yourself in this pigeon pose to fully surrender. Pigeon pose is one of my favorite poses. Not only do I just love how good it feels on my outer hips, it's also such a surrendering and grounding pose for me. Just surrendering to the earth, feeling that connection, that groundedness to the earth. It's a good feeling. Good. On your next inhale, slowly start to walk the hands back, come back up, take your time. Come back into downward facing dog. Do whatever you need to just gently stretch that right leg out. And we'll take this to the other side. So lift the left leg up. Exhale, bring that left knee to left wrist. Drop the back knee down. Find your positioning for pigeon on this side. So my left side's a little tighter. So my heel is a little closer into my groin on my left side than it is on my right. Just the way my body is. Take a big deep breath, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold down into that space as far as feels good. And allow yourself to release, to let go, to surrender, and to be held. Now our hips are also a place where we store a lot of our emotions, a lot of our experiences. So maybe deep hip opening poses bring about some emotion for you, and that's okay. This is a safe space. If emotions come, you can feel them. Emotions are energy. They're a current that moves through you. Allowing yourself to feel those emotions will allow them to move through you, as opposed to being blocked and resisted. Let's take just a couple more deep breaths here and know that it's okay. Good. Walk the hands back in. Start to lift the body up. Find your way back to downward facing dog once again. Gently stretching back out. And bring the knees down. Come back into child's pose. Take the wide child's pose the same way we started. Come back to that breath. So maybe you notice in this child's pose, since we're ending this practice the same way we started, just notice maybe what feels different in your body. What feels different in your heart or in your mind. Maybe you feel more space, whether physically or mentally or emotionally. Maybe you just feel more connected and grounded. Whatever it is, just notice. And know that these feelings are always here for you. They live inside of you. I want to invite you to stay in this child's pose for however long you need. And the second part of this practice, the open part. So we just flowed on our mats. Now it's time to open our hearts through writing in your journal. So the journaling prompt for today's flow is writing about things that feel good to you. So what makes you feel good? What has been feeling good to you lately? And how can you make more time for that in your life? What has been feeling good to you lately, and how can you make more time for that in your life? So stay in this child's pose as long as you need, as long as feels good. Take this journaling prompt, sit with it, write it out. Thank you so much for joining me today in the forest. I'll see you next time. Bye.